Hello and welcome to Scorecard. I'm going to spend some time here with you to show you how to use your scorecard if you're already a user. So first thing you're going to see here is you've got your calendar in the upper left-hand corner. This will take you to any date you want to go to, as you can imagine, but I'm going to show you how to do the planning. So today is February 15th, so I'm going to jump ahead a whole month and let's go to March 15th so we can start from this. Now, you're going to notice one thing, that your scorecard probably looks different than mine. This is something that I use for myself as well. So you may see different categories or different ways to call things. So that may be different, but the functions and everything else are still the same. So basically, I look at my week. This is going to be Monday, a day that I'll be working, and I'll start to make plans of what I think I'm going to do that day. So for example, I might get on LinkedIn and I might do a few activities on there, and I'll say I'll do 12. I know I've got to send out about 5 or 6. Let's say today I have to send out 8 prospecting emails, and I know I've got to make 12 phone calls on Monday. I like to do my prospecting phone calls on Monday. Not going to do any prospecting visits today. I'm going to be mostly in the office. Usually on Mondays, that's what I do. But I might send out a couple cards just to kind of catch up with some of my clients. So anyway, you can see I've got a 56% planned day. That means I still have more room to do other things. So I may think to myself that I can go down to my other activity list and say, well, I usually like to go to lunch with a client, and it's been a while since I've seen a certain client of mine. So I'm going to go down and do one lunch, and then I'll say I'm going to have lunch with Karen. And I'll make a note to myself then to contact Karen about going out to lunch. If I don't get to do that, I can change that plan anytime. So now I've got an 81% day, so I can get a sense that I've got a pretty good day started. And I can do that here for the rest of the week. Same thing, let's say I'll do 25 emails. I'll make a couple of phone calls here. Not going to do any client interactions, but I'm going to hit the road. And I'm going to try to knock on some doors. So maybe I'll try to hit the road and visit 4 different companies. Now I've got a pretty good day planned. But let's say Wednesday is the 17th, and it's not my birthday, but let's say that's my birthday. I don't want to work that day. I'm going to take that day off and tell the boss I'll be out. Hit day off, and then you won't be tabulated for that day. So that's basically the easy part about showing your plans. Now, the nice thing here too is if I go back to Tuesday, if I want to make any other additional comments here, I can say visiting 4 new companies and add anything in there that I want to make sure, or if I have to take off early for a doctor appointment. That way I can understand why I maybe not have gotten the score that I want for that day. But anyway, when that's all done, you want to hit mark plan for completing, and then you should be done. And then you can go down here to the bottom and you can see for the week what kind of week you have planned, how many of these activities you have listed out, what kind of grade you get for that or score you get for that. So far you've got a pretty good week planned here for March 15th. So let's get down to the scoring aspect. Let's go pick today is February 15th. So I'm going to show you how to score yourself on February 15th for me. So you can see I plan to make some phone calls. It's Monday. I said I'd like to make phone calls on Monday. I have some clients I have to spend some time with and so forth. So I know those things are going to happen. So let's say here, I want to, plans don't always go according to plans. So you can always change things. So I wound up spending some time on Facebook trying to connect with clients. So I put a 5 in there. Didn't make all the phone calls that I wanted to make, but I did manage to send out a batch of emails that I wanted to do. And let's say that I did send a thank you card out to somebody I had a meeting with last week. So I want to capture that. I wasn't expecting to do that, but like I say, plans can change. But I am going to see my clients A, B, and C down here, which I knew I was going to do. So I'm going to mark a 3. So now you can see it's tabulating. I'm at 64%. I'm now beating the plan that I had. I'm doing better than I thought. And let's say Monday morning, I always have my Monday morning sales meeting. I can add that in here as well. And let's say the morning didn't go as I wanted to either. And let's say I had a flat tire on the way to work. In case I didn't get the score that I want and something was out of your control and you're trying to remember when you look back 2 weeks what happened, you can add anything in here that you want in the comments. And let's say I had a really good day. You get bonus points for good days, and you have a drop down list here. A good day for me is if I closed a deal or I developed a new lead. So let's say I got a new lead from those phone calls I made this morning, and I get my bonus point there, and I'm good to go. Scroll down and you can see that here I'm my plan. I have 57% of my February plan. This is the week to date, just for the week, not for the month. And so far I am beating my plan. Now that's only for one day. But let's look back onto the previous week, which would be February 8th. And again, you can go down and see for the week that I had planned another 57% week, but I did better than that and did 73%. And then over here, you see on the graph to the right-hand side, this tells you how you're really spending your time. And for me, I spend a lot of time with my clients. That's part of what I do. A lot of odds and ends spends my time, but I'm only using 10% or 11% of my time to make phone calls. And if I think phone calls are going to be effective, I'm going to want to plan ahead to be making more phone calls. Or if I'm seeing I'm doing a lot of emails and I'm not getting the results I want, I might take down the emails and put more time into my phone calls as I start to plan out there for the future. If you want to see how you're doing for the month, you go up here to the top to the tab that says benchmarks and monthly, scroll to the bottom, and this will give you the month to date, the year to date, I'm sorry, the date to the month. So I'm halfway through the month and I can see I've got half of it done. And I did 70% over my 55% plan that I thought I would do. And I can see how much I've been spending on LinkedIn, how many emails I've been sending, how many phone calls. So I can start to tabulate what I'm spending my time to either generate new business or make sales. The one thing that you're going to have to notice on this that's very peculiar is that you can't go back in time and change your plan, and you can't jump into the future to change your activities. So for example, if I go back to February 11th and I go to my activity page, I can change my score of what happened. Let's say I forgot to add that I did a client interaction that I forgot to put down there. Just slipped my mind. That happens on Fridays. I can change that to 2, right? Not a problem. I'm going to change that back to 1 because this is my actual scorecard. But I cannot, in the gray area, go back and change my plan. Once your plan happens, it happens. In addition to that, I cannot go into the future. This would be tomorrow. And I cannot add anything tomorrow that has actually happened because it hasn't happened yet. So you can't go back to the past and change your plan, and you can't jump to the future to change your activity. So there's a quick walkthrough of how to use a scorecard from the web app. If you have questions, let us know, and I'm glad to be working with you.